Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday morning. No, yep, morning to y'all. Couldn't remember is it afternoon or morning.
It's still
Uh,
morning.
my sense of day is never, hey, it's Starry Night. That thing
Yes.
is involved everywhere. Van Gogh has never been talked about so much.
When Sam was over in Europe, her and Phil and Kirsten, when they were in Amsterdam, they went to his museum. She brought me home a mug.
Ah, good girl. Good girl. You should keep her.
I think I will.
All right. Well, it's your girls from Obscure Orations, and it's me, Tay, and my wonderful co-host, Dana. And as you all
Hello.
should know by now, Wednesdays are the Talk About the Dragons Day. So,
Ouch.
that's what you get, karma.
Right? I
Came back with
deserve that.
wham. All right. So, there's so much happened in Sunday's episode of House of the Dragon. I just I don't even know. We'll talk about a happier-ish moment of when uh King Egg. Happy birthday.
Taylor says happy birthday. It's my son's birthday today.
So one of like the cuter parts of the episode, because there was a lot of heaviness to it, was when drunk King Aegon, second of his name, went down into the dragon pit to go grab Sunfire to fly out. And Sunfire comes walking over and just like nuzzles into his chest and like, hey. That was freaking adorable. It was like having a puppy for like a dragon puppy. It was so freaking cute. And I think that was like the only happy point of the entire episode.
Yeah. I mean, right from the drinking of the tea down to the fucking credits. You're like, I don't know about you all, but I was like,
I heard her say I was a little crying mess.
The drinking of the tea didn't surprise me. Okay.
No, that didn't surprise me at all.
Those two banged so much, and in the days of no birth control, it was bound to happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, and this is the first time since season 1 that we actually kind of have a idea of the timeline, because Allison makes a comment about, I think it's Allison who makes a comment about it in the past few weeks. I've lost my husband, my whatever, my grandchild, and my father's kicked out kind of thing. So it's the first time that we actually get a definitive, hey, this is kind of what the timeline is.
Yeah.
We're only a couple weeks out, and then it's that moment of realization hitting you going, holy shit, all of this is only happening in a matter of a couple weeks.
Yeah. The thing you sent me, forget what I think it was on TikTok or maybe Facebook, I'm not sure, or you tagged me in it, something about what their definitive ages are.
Oh yeah, I just tagged you in that this morning.
And I was like, because you look at Aemon and
he's not
16.
19. Yeah, 16, 19. It's like, and the two bastard offspring, Corliss, are supposed to be, I think it said like 14 and 15. It's like,
yes. Grown ass men.
Like, yeah. I don't know any 14 or 15-year-olds who look like that.
I don't know any 14 or 50-year-old who run in their own ship either, pirates.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your boy is the one who rescued you. What?
It really kind of makes today's youth held to a higher standard. What do you mean you're in grade 10? Get out there and get a pirate ship.
Yeah,
You're
you go
15 now.
Yeah, you're supposed to be taking care of the family. You're supposed to be able to defend my honor and rescue me if I fall into the waters.
Right.
Oh, but that entire scene though, when Rhaenys goes up to the guy, and it hadn't dawned on me before that they were his bastards. And the only reason I knew the one kid, his younger brother, was Valyrian was when I saw the credits or something, or it might have been a meme afterwards that said, "Oh yeah, his name is, I don't know, we'll call him Rick because I can't remember his name. I know the older brother is Alan, but the other guy was whatever Rick Valerian." And I was like, "Wait a minute, like he's what?" Like, well, that doesn't make sense. Never even didn't cross my mind that Corlys was unfaithful. And then when she comes walking up and then just touches the guy's face and goes, "You're very comely. She must have been very beautiful." It's like, then all of a sudden those bells went off. I'm like, oh.
I'm glad the bells went off for you because I did not pick up on that.
I wondered if I was the only one. That's why I put it into the group chat. I'm like, he cheated, that bastard.
and that's why I'm sitting at home watching, and you send that message. I'm like, but him and Rhaenys look so happy.
Right? That was exactly my thoughts. Like, they still sleep together. They're so happy together. And then you see her, like, as she's calling him out on it, and she's like, well, I know who he is, and you shouldn't have to hide him in the shadows. He was the one who saved you. You should probably, like, acknowledge him more, kind of thing. I'm like, you cheating bastard.
But, okay, to be honest, was there a man
who was faithful?
Any man who was faithful in that time period?
Ned Stark. He's the only one.
Jon Snow is Ned Stark's bastard son.
No, it's not. Remember, it's Aegon. He's his sister's kid. That's how he's Targaryen.
Okay. That's where, yeah, okay, you're right. Maybe.
So I would say Ned is the only one who...
It was portrayed that Jon was Ned Stark's bastard son. Okay.
Yeah, for like 7.5 seasons, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's Ned Stark's bastard son. Then you're like,
Ned Stark, you asshole.
That was exactly it. I'm like, Ned's the perfect man, minus the fact that he cheated on his wife. And then, like, I can remember now thinking back to season 1 when you have Robert Baratheon saying, "Oh yeah, the high and mighty Ned Stark comes back with a bastard. Who would have thought you had it in you?" And it's kind of like, yep, Then come to find out, it's like, for the kid's entire life, you've taken the brunt. Like, I mean, he got shit on constantly for having a bastard. And number one, he's not a bastard because his aunt married the prince.
Yep.
Number two, it was like a love match. They actually had him full on, and then she gets murdered and Prince gets killed, and it's like, oh, okay. And you have to sit there and be like, yes, this is my bastard son. My wife is so unhappy with me right now. It's like, at some point in time, like, to me, what still doesn't make sense to this day is why wouldn't Ned tell his wife and be like, hey, he's not actually my kid. He's my sister's kid.
She didn't know.
No, remember, she never knew. That's why she treated him so crappily.
Oh.
I would say she absolutely...
My God, I'm going to have to go back and watch it for the third season, for the third time.
You're going to watch it and be like, oh my God, this all makes so much more. Like, I mean, watch how she treats Jon compared to her own kids. And I think had she known that Jon wasn't Ned's bastard offspring and had been the legitimate child of his sister and the prince I don't even know which his name was, Prince Tigerian, she would have treated him a lot nicer, which I'm thinking would have been a better route to go, Ned, just saying. But
True.
that's...
So let's talk about the elephant in the room, because it's going to be there, and it's going to hang on for probably the length of the rest of the episode. And that is the epic dragon battle, to which we see Aemon take down Aegon, and then the unthinkable with...
Yes, I literally have chills in my eyes. They're like, oh!
With Rhaenys dying. I mean, we know that there's so many lost this season, and there's already been losses in the first 5 episodes, but this one was particularly painful.
Yeah, it's one of those rules of thumb of don't love a character, and Princess Rhaenys, the queen that never was honestly my favorite character. And I mean, I love the cast, I love the characters in the House of the Dragon, but she was hands down my favorite one, just for her no nonsense, like, let's fucking do this, no, don't do that, it's dumb. Like, she would have made an amazing queen. Had they been smart, had Jaehaerys been smart and made her queen, I doubt that any of this ever would have happened. She would have had a wonderful reign, it would have gone great, everything would have been fine.
Yeah.
But that episode and the actress Eve Best, I believe is how you pronounce all of it, did such a phenomenal job portraying the character. And in that final battle, the emotions that she was able to portray from start to finish, and you could see the telepathic communication between her and Melise, where she's starting to fly away, like, the dragons have come in, she's done her damage, she's flying off, and then she says in High Valyrian, Melise attack, and does a full 180 and heads right back in. And even talking about, I'm getting goosebumps again, because that entire episode, that entire fight sequence gave me so many goosebumps and chills. And let's not forget the fact that Aemond, the horrible brother that he is, literally...
let's start referring to him as Aemon the Small.
Biggest dragon, tiniest pee-pee.
Well, what do they say about men with sports cars? They're overcompensating for something.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna overcompensate, I'm gonna let you die. So that part, when you hear the horns going, it's like, oh yeah, all right, we're gonna get a fight, we're gonna get a fight. Then all of a sudden you go into the brush where Vhagar has somehow managed to land in a forest unnoticed with her giant ass.
And yeah, that's a very, very large dragon to be hiding in the trees.
Yeah, I want to know what guy was on watch that day and fucking missed that coming in. I'd be like, oh yeah, here's a dump truck and an ant, and the ant going, oh no, I don't see anything here.
Well, you think about it in the episode before, when Cole and Allison's brother were riding across, and Cole was like, dragon! Like, come on. He barely cast a shadow over the sun and he saw it up there. You mean to tell me that Vhagar slid into the forest unnoticed? No, not buying it.
I was going to say, that was exactly my thought when I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, again, what scouts were supposed to be on watch that day and wore blindfolds as they did so and earplugs because when Vagar soars through the air, they all hear it. Like, I mean, you think about it, they all hear the dragons before they see them because they all make that high pitched sound when they come in. So glad that was caught on cameras. What sounds were you
Very well
making?
done. Very well done.
I'm secretly a dragon in human form. And talking about people.
Oh, fuck, I wish. Do you know how many of the people I know would be smited? You're caddies. You're caddies.
I was gonna say, you're just going around, and you, 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 and you. Screw
Half
it, just
of
everyone
Essex
get in the
County
house.
is burnt to a crisp.
And this is why we would do really well as a Tigerian. What are you doing? I'm just gonna burn everything. Okay.
Yeah.
But watching him as he watches Aegon go flying across the sky, and then he tells Vagar, wait, lay back down. Vagar's like, all right, I'm old, I'm gonna sleep. Just, and even that part where she lays back down has a loud boom. Like, again, no one heard her lay down in the first place. I'm with you, not buying it. But to watch how calculated he was to wait for his brother to
Basically get in trouble.
yeah, I was just say to wait for his brother to get mauled by Melees, and just watching, like, one of the things that I hadn't really realized until I think it was last week when I saw some stuff on the interwebs where it was talking about how much time Princess Rhaenys has been riding for. And she literally, like, once she got her dragon, that was it. Like, she was on it morning, noon, and night. Constantly, she's got the most experience out of anyone in the entire dragon riding community with doing it and heading into, like, fighting sequences, all that kind of stuff. And it was awesome to see her show it off just because you have Aegon, who's like, oh yeah, can't even speak High Valyrian. It's like, I want make
I
war.
want to make war.
It was that instant moment where watching him try and speak, and you're like, oh no, just nope, no.
What I don't understand is, how does he not know High Valyrian? Like, how?
Well, it kind of makes sense with his character because you think about it. You have Rhaenyra, who learned it from a young age, obviously, because her and her family use it, like her and Daemon use it constantly. And then you have her trying to teach her son later in life, because you think about he's learning at the end of season 1, he's practicing, and she's telling him, no, it's this, and he's like, I need to know, if I'm to be king one day, I need to know how to speak the language. And she's like, it's fine, you have time to learn. It's like, no, you don't. Just fucking learn it. Like, teach them from childhood on, because it takes a long time to learn a damn language. And then you have Aegon, who, I think I was saying it in the group chat, the show has done a really good job in making you feel, or at least for me, feeling sorry for Aegon. Because he's never loved by his parents. He was never meant, or say, yeah, bullied even by his parents. Was never expected to take the throne, so was never treated thusly. Like, he literally knows nothing about running the realm. Doesn't know his own languages. Doesn't know. I mean, he doesn't really even know the first thing of going into battle, let alone all the rest of it. So it just makes me kind of sad when you watch him, because you're like, oh, you think that you have power, and his mom was mean to him in the episode where she's like, oh, you think you should have wisdom and people should be listening to you? Let me tell you. Like,
how do those people not have psoriasis of the liver? Like, seriously. Other than the morning after tea, all they drink is booze.
Oh.
probably why they die at young ages.
I was just going to say, now thinking about it, that's probably it exactly. I mean, you think about it, a lot of places in true history, that's how they were paid. They were paid in beer or grog, whatever.
Yeah.
And like for the ancient Egyptians, they worked and got paid a lot of the time in beer. And that was what they would drink while they were working. And it wasn't because of the alcohol content or anything like that. It's because they knew that if they drank the Nile water, or any kind of pond water stuff, that they noticed that they got sick. But if they turned it into beer, it was fine. It's like, okay. But what they missed was the fact that you had to boil the water to make it, like you had to cook the beer. They didn't understand that that was what was making the water drinkable. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're just going to keep turning it into beer because that doesn't make me sick. I'm like,
It's the hops and barley.
yeah, clearly that's what makes it better. They're like, yeah, no, we know exactly how to do this. Like, and that's one of those things that you notice throughout, like, you with the Game of Thrones stuff. You're like, do you guys drink water at all? Well, we're at the High Council meeting. Could I wine me? Like,
I mean, other than that one time that in Game of Thrones that Daenerys was drinking Starbucks, you never see them drink anything but alcohol.
I always forget about that.
I mean, what kind of sharp eye do you have to notice that and then capture the screen capture of it?
And it happened in such a split second for you to notice it. Like, these people have to be going through and watching frame by frame and going, oh, continuity issue. It's like, I barely notice the issues between, like, glasses as people are drinking. Like, that's something that I'm now picking up on, where if you watch things like Bridgerton, you will notice in a couple of the scenes where they're like, oh yeah, here's the last mouthful of brandy, and the mouthful of brandy changes from here to here to here to here. It's like, you all might have wanted to stop drinking it. And it's been like, here's the last thing. Is that the scene? Okay. But yes, I definitely agree. They all had to have had liver issues out the wazoo.
Yeah.
And and I'm pretty positive that that's part of the reason why they made bad governmental decisions, was just because of, why are you so angry? I had whiskey today. Makes me angry.
So it seems to me that Allison, in the way that she talks to Aegon, it just seems to me that she wants him to do what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
So now she knows of the epic fuck up that she made in the wrong Aegon. So now, even though Rhaenyra has gone to her and said, we can stop this, we don't have to do this, she still is war, dragon fights. How many dragons are going to be lost in this season? That's what's killing me. Fuck the people. Don't stop killing the dragons.
Yeah, or say, because this is, as they say, there's no war as bloody as a war between dragons. And it's going, by the end of it, like literally by the end of the war, which only happens over I think it's basically like a 1.5 year timeline. It doesn't take long. They end up losing every single one because Aegon the Younger, Rhaenyra and Daemon's youngest son, I think, is the one who ends up taking the throne in the very end. He's the one who finally brings it all back together. And he's the one who sees the death of the last dragon.
He's the last man standing.
And he's just like, you only have one. Oh, I died. I got none. That's it. I got none. So And I think it was just yesterday that I was making the confusing comment about what was it? That he's not dead, meaning Aegon, the second of his name, is not dead, but it was confusing in the group chat because it was a picture of Sir Kristen Cole
Yeah, he's not
for
dead
us.
either.
Yeah, so yeah, he's alive for a little while longer.
I mean, I know his time is coming, so it is sort of that, the comforting thought of knowing that, just seeing him standing there. If I had been Aemon and I had my sword out and Cole came up behind me, I would have. But that's just me.
Ew, sorry, I didn't know it was you.
So now speculation, because I know we're all on different conversations and different pages on social media for House of the Dragon. So speculation is Aemon wasn't going to kill Aegon. He simply picked up the blade and found it, and then Kristen Cole came up behind him. Theory 1. Theory 2. Aemon was going to finish the job his dragon started.
I'm feeling it's more of that option, to be quite honest.
But then Cole came up behind him, so he had to stop. Either way, I'm not 100% sure on what he was doing. In my theory, in my realm of thinking, I want to be led down the path that Aemon was going to finish the job he started. Because to me, 16, 19, however old he is, he's taken enough of Aegon's bullshit through his life.
Oh, God, yeah.
That, as a younger sibling, I know justice can be sweet. I never killed any of my siblings. Calm down. I'm just saying.
I was just saying.
There
was Darren still alive?
There was a time when the tides turned.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point, the tides turned. So how Aegon survived that is beyond me.
So according to the book, he's going to be down and out for the following, like, the entire year, basically most of the war. He's going to be completely down and out and under the influence of the poppy because he's severely burned, shattered pelvis, ribs, like all the good things.
Oh, absolutely.
So Aemon actually does play king for basically the year that he's got his brother's gone and sleeping. He's there for the year going, yeah, well, I say we're going to do it like this. So this is when it starts going back and forth because you had Aegon initially, now you'll have Aemon. Then I don't know if it's when Aegon gets better that you end up having Rhaenyra comes in and then Aegon somehow kills her, and then it's I don't remember if it's someone else, and then the younger Aegon the younger finally comes in. But there's a lot of like going back and forth in a short time period. And I'm ready for, I mean, I'll be more emotionally ready for all of it now because the hardest one for me was definitely Rhaenys and Meleys. Like that, just the way that the actress portrayed it, where you just the emotions on her face, and when she just accepts it and just goes flying back, it's like, oh. Oh.
When she tethered herself to the harness, I was just like, oh, it's coming. It's coming. I know it's going to happen.
Yep.
But that just showed, to me, that showed her love towards
Meleys.
Millie's her dragon.
Yeah, she wasn't going to let her die by herself.
Exactly. You know, kind of like the captain going down the ship.
Yep. And I mean, like, even like one of the parts that gave me sad chills and legitimate tears was when Maelys is getting her head chomped off by Vagar, and you see her literally turn and make eye contact with Rhaenys, and you can just see the look in her face is going, okay, we did good though. And just like, oh,
Yep.
God damn, oh my God, it makes my heart ache still.
I'm glad
And
we
my eyes
watch
leak.
TV in the dark. I'll be honest with you, because then I can go like this and nobody sees me.
Yeah, Mama turned on the light and I'm like, don't look at me. She's like, really? I'm like, shut up. She's my favorite character. And that was emotional. Oh. They said even now, like I can feel it welling up where I'm like, oh, just thinking about it. And you know that it's well done.
Yeah.
When it just utterly annihilates your heart. And that was exactly it for me, where it's like, I'm fine. You're crying.
Yeah. Goes through the paper shredder. You're like, oh.
Yep. I would say it was just so well done. And I think I sent it to you and Veronica last night, a video where the TikTok person was talking about how from a person standpoint, yeah, sad, but for the emotions between the dragons, that Vagar and Maelys have known each other the longest and used to fly together because they were what was it? The husband rode Vagar and the wife rode Maelys. So they used to fly together, dance together, all that kind of stuff for decades upon decades.
Yeah.
And now Vagar has to go through and is just annihilating her friends and possibly even her family at this point in time, where it's like, oh, my little heart. Oh. So it just adds that extra layer to it. We're like, nope, this isn't okay. So it kind of makes you wonder, like, I'd be so curious to hear an inner monologue for Vagar, just to be sitting there like, how does she feel about all this? Is she being torn to pieces emotionally as she physically tears to pieces these dragons? Like the younger ones, I get it. She probably wouldn't care.
You remember 50 Shades of Grey?
Uh-huh.
So do you remember after the 3 books came out, the author came out with a book called Grey, which was the first book through his eyes?
Yep.
That's what we need George R.R. Martin to do. We need him to go back and do the Song of Fire and Ice through the dragon's eyes.
Yeah. We're like,
come on, George, get on it.
Yeah, he can't even get the 6th book, 7th book done. And we're like, okay, we need to do one where the dragon's point of view is being talked about. Like, how do they feel? We need to know how hard we should be crying right now. Like, is Vagar dying inside? Will we die outside?
We can get that Benedict Cumberbatch or whatever his name is. The guy that did the voice for Smaug.
Yep. Oh, he would be so good.
He can be Vagar's inner voice.
I'm just picturing him walking around on the floor like he did for that role again. I would pay money. I'd pay good money to watch that.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I don't think my heart can take talking about this anymore. She's like, hold on.
So next week's going to be interesting because we're going to get the House Black and House Green fallout of those events. So it, how Corlys reacts to knowing that his wife fell on the dragon or fell on the sword, basically.
Chills. I can't wait for that part.
Alicent Allison's reaction to Aegon being severely
Smushed.
injured. I mean,
And
she doesn't seem like the type of mother that cares, but I mean, she may have a smite of, that moment. She might be verklempt for like 5 seconds.
I want to see, like, okay, so we're gonna do a small prediction for next week's episode.
Do I like
We're
predictions?
assuming that all these, so we're doing all that. What do you predict will be Allison's reaction when she finds out about Aegon?
Honestly, okay, and again, viewers, I've never read the books. I honestly think that Allison will be disappointed that he lived.
Ooh. Oh,
Yeah.
you're going. I mean, I can see that with her.
We don't know backstories, right? We don't know what happened. We don't know what happens in the shadows. Did she go to Aemond and did she tell Aemond to do that? We don't know that.
That's
so
true.
She comes back, or Aemond comes back. Aemond and Vhagar are fine. Aegon's toast. Sunfire, is that his?
Yeah.
Sunfire, his dragon,
boy.
is just meat for the troops, I guess. So, you wonder. You have to wonder. I wonder. So that's my prediction. I don't think she's going to be broken up as a mother should be, but she's going to be more concerned with what happened to Cole. Not her brother, Cole.
Yeah, that's true.
And why didn't Aemond finish the job?
Oh, that's the thing. I hadn't thought about that. So for me, I'm thinking she's going to. I think she's going to be livid. Like, I think she's going to be fit to be tied, angry at Aemond for going out and doing that. And then angry at the fact that he pretty much just about killed himself doing it. So I think she's going to be fucking pissed right off about all of it. And then part of me kind of thinks that then she's going to feel like, I'm wondering if she's going to kind of get that guilty feeling of, will she have that, like a playback in her head of thinking about when Rhaenyra said, you can stop this. You put the wrong Aegon on the throne.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, will that make her even angrier? Because then in her case, she's sitting there going, motherfucker, she was right. And I could have stopped all of this. My grandkids could have been alive and fine. My sons could have been fine. He still would have just gone around fucking everyone in the damn red light district.
Yeah, and popping up bastard children left and right.
Exactly. So all of the dragon seeds everywhere. So it makes me kind of wonder, like, okay, how are they going to do that? Like, I think that's what they're going to go with. But now I'm curious to see if it's going to go your way. Your way would be more fun.
I know. I tend to live in the dark. I see the world on the dark side.
I thought mine was dark enough where I'm like, yeah, she's just gonna be really, really pissed off. And like, why didn't you just die then? And you're like, I think she helped plot it. And that she's like, die, bitch.
I do. I do think she helped plot it.
Well, now we can't wait until Sunday even more, just because now we have even more questions where it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Something we want to see. So I'd love to hear from anyone who sees these videos. Please leave comments, and we'd like to hear your theories on it. Or at least I know I would like to hear theories. I feel like Veronica's going to be in the comment section replying to every part of it again.
Of course she is. And because this is a TikTok exclusive, hit the follow button.
Look at you go, you're learning.
We're sitting at 549. So
Nice.
we're almost at 60% of hitting that 1,000 to do lives. So, and once we can go live, who knows?
Yeah. Then everything's free game.
So yes, thank you for everyone for joining us today. We will be back on Sunday with a regular episode, and then back next Wednesday with our recap of episode 6.
Episode 5.
5. Episode 5. We've got
You're like, we're getting somewhere.
3 left. Hey! All right. Enjoy the rest of the day, everyone.
Ciao.